guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a food video. I have a chocolate for you that I discovered during a chocolate tasting that I fell head over heels in love with, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it is one that is absolutely worth trying, especially if you are a chocolate lover, and particularly if you're a chocolate lover and a foodie. The reason I say that is because this is certainly a good quality chocolate. So if you're a chocolate lover, I think you're going to enjoy it regardless of what the flavor is. But if you're a foodie, to me, this is one of those really interesting ones where they took a good quality chocolate and they melded it with something else just to create a little bit of a different experience. The fun thing about this one, and I have a few videos coming up that are going to have somewhat unusual things that are a little bit more like, if you're adventurous, go for it, and if you're not adventurous, you might not care for it so much. The nice thing about this is it, to me, is very appealing to somebody who is a little bit more adventurous, but it is not so out of left field that a person who tries to avoid adventurous foods wouldn't also love it. So to me, this is one that appeals to everybody, or that I think would appeal to everybody. So this is the chocolate right here. It's Pump Street Chocolate. It is actually a company in England that is known for award-winning baked goods. So it's a bakery, an award-winning bakery in England, and at some point they decided they also wanted to make chocolates. And I have to tell you, I don't know what their baked goods taste like, but they captured the flavor of a bakery in this chocolate. So they're hitting a home run with me, probably on both accounts, but certainly on the chocolate account. So I'm going to show you something. I had actually just cut this open to make it a little bit easier to do this video, but when you get the package, this is the top of it. And I wanted to mention that because each package gives you the batch number, which is this little purple thing right here. The back will have the expiration on it. And the front has a few other cool things. So it'll tell you the percentage for the chocolate, which isn't unusual. A lot of high-end chocolates will do that. This one's 58%. But what's really special is that it tells you that it's from Honduras and that it's the 2015 crop. I've seen, where things are sourced from on chocolates, certainly. And, packages usually tell you where things are made. So that's not unusual, but I really just liked knowing what the crop was. And to me, that tells me they're very proud of that fact, and they want you to know that they thought about where it came from, and they want you to know that too. And so I think that's just a nice quality, especially when you're buying kind of like a higher end food item. This is, they called it Series #1 Bakery. So apparently they have a bakery series. This one is bread and butter, which I'm really excited about. I know for a fact that they have a sourdough flavor, and I want to say, I kind of read up at some point, and I want to say there's at least 2 other baked items, if not more. I'm personally not a sourdough fan. I would totally try it. I think it would be really interesting, but I'm personally not a fan of sourdough bread. I'm more about like bread and butter, just that concept overall. So I'm excited to have this one. And honestly, I didn't have to... I didn't go in blind with this one. So the reason I know about this chocolate is because there's this little gourmet chocolate shop in Boston that I go to regularly. It's my favorite chocolate shop because they do have these higher end things. So I feel like if I'm going to pay for something, I want it to be something really special and different. And I usually go in and I try to find something that like is interesting, exciting, but will still be good quality chocolate. On this particular day, and this was, I want to say over a year ago now, I had gone in. I can't remember what I went in for, and I don't even remember what I brought home, but I do know that while I was there, they were doing a chocolate tasting of this chocolate, and she said, would you like to try the bread and butter chocolate? And I said, sure. And I tried it, and I knew it was going to be good, but I did not really expect to be as bowled over as I was. For me, that very first time I tried it, it was a little bit different, I would say, than the times I've tried it since. So I really enjoy this chocolate, which is why I'm recommending it to you. But what I really think is really almost like bizarre, but like really interesting about this chocolate is that you always get a bread or bread and butter feeling from it, but I feel like every time I try it, it's a little bit of a different experience. The first time I tried it, I was blown away. She had told me it was called bread and butter, so I didn't have to search for what is this quality and what am I tasting, and like it's familiar but I can't figure out what. So I knew, like she said, it's bread and butter, so I knew. I ate it, and to me it evoked like major childhood memories, like big time nostalgia of like just like the most delicious bread with butter on it. And when you're little, the most delicious bread with butter on it is probably like Wonder Bread and Country Crock margarine or something like that. I'm not saying that that's what it tastes like. That is not what this chocolate tastes like. But to me, it was just that feeling of when you were just eating like a really delicious bread with really delicious butter, whatever that means to you. And certainly when you're little. I would say since I got my hands on like a full pack, it evokes more of a feeling of when you go to a bakery and you get like a fresh baked bread, something that's like kind of crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. There's that certain crust on the bread when it's baked perfectly, when it's not too overcooked and it's not too undercooked, and there's just that certain quality. I'm going to describe it as almost like a caramelly type of quality, for lack of a better word, but there is a certain quality that is on that crust. You could smell it, you could taste it, it kind of stays with you. And to me, when I eat this now, I get more of that rather than the butter flavor, but it's really wonderful, and it's really more heightened in the sense that like it's like I'm tasting like a good quality bread. Like I said, it evokes that childhood feeling of bread and butter, but it does not taste like Wonder Bread. So if you're worried about that, like don't be. Unless you love Wonder Bread, then I'm sorry, it doesn't taste like Wonder Bread. What's interesting is that their description is a little bit different than my description, but I'm going to give it to you because it's very possible that you will feel that it actually tastes more like this. So they wrote, continuing our bakery series, because like I said, there's more than one in their bakery series. The rich, creamy caramel flavor of this Honduran bean melds into tones of malty, hot buttered toast. So I would say that creamy caramel flavor of the chocolate is really lovely chocolate. I love that. But I think I'm getting the flavor of the chocolate. I think for me, it's replicating like the crust of the bread. And also, here's another thing that I thought was really interesting. Two things. One, when they give you the ingredients of what's in the chocolate, you recognize every single item. There's nothing unusual. There's nothing you can't pronounce. There's nothing that you have to Google to figure out what it is. The ingredients are cocoa beans, cane sugar, organic cocoa butter, milk powder, and breadcrumbs, and it notes that the breadcrumbs are wheat. If you are somebody that does not like wheat bread and you prefer white bread, I wouldn't overthink that part. Honestly, I think that the wheat breadcrumbs probably just have a little bit more flavor, like they probably just have a little bit more power to them, and they probably just show up more in the chocolate. I'm guessing that because I do not taste like wheat bread or multigrain bread, or I don't taste any particular kind of bread. I just taste a good quality baked bread. And like I said, the first time I tried it, I tasted bread and butter. I taste more bread now. Let's see. The other thing about this chocolate is it was kind of hard to come by. So I will give you the information of where I got it below, because I know when I tried to search for it on my own, I had a really hard time. I think I could have ordered it from England, but it would be really expensive, and it's already a higher end chocolate. I paid $10.99 for mine. But I think, you know, obviously if you're paying shipping, it's going to be, I just don't know if I could justify that personally. Like I wanted it so badly. So I tried it during that tasting. It evoked all these feelings. For some reason, I didn't buy it that day. And when I went back to the chocolate shop, they had already sold out. I didn't realize that they weren't going to be getting it back in, so I kept going in and they kept not having it. And then finally I had to speak to the owner and see if she could get it for me. And she, at that time, if I'm not mistaken, she had expressed that it was going to be hard for her to get her hands on, and she didn't want to promise me that she could get it for me because she wasn't sure. But I got very lucky in that I got basically a message maybe like a week or so later saying that it had been ordered, and that she'd let me know when it was in. And I did pick up two packages. There's always that fear when you fall in love with something that it's not going to be as good as you remembered. So I did have that slight fear, but I couldn't not get two of them because I just remembered. I was like, it was a great chocolate, even if it doesn't quite do the bread and butter for me. But the difference is that first time I got bread and butter, and since then I get more like amazing bakery good. One other thing I want to say, because I did mention that it has wheat breadcrumbs as one of the ingredients. It absolutely does not have the feeling of the texture of breadcrumbs in this. The chocolate is smooth and creamy. If you didn't know breadcrumbs were an ingredient, you would never even think that anything was like that in there. I think the breadcrumbs are what give it the flavor, but you're not going to get that texture. It is super creamy and super smooth. I'm going to show you. I did already break a piece off, so it's not like the full piece, but let me just show you what it looks like when you open it. So when you cut it, I had to cut it to open it. It's like a nice vacuum seal. And then one of the rows I already kind of broke off, so I'll kind of keep that separate over there. And so it's a nice vacuum seal. So this is what the chocolate would be when you get it, plus this row right here. And like I said, I already broke one off. And it is really tasty. These small little thing, that's really all you need to be satisfied. This is not one of those chocolates that you inhale like an entire bar. You eat the one and you're good. And I'm just going to do a teeny piece because I have filmed this video like 7 times, no joke. And a lot of them have like a whole minute of me chewing chocolate, which you don't want to see. So the thing that really strikes me with this particular chocolate, it's very creamy. It has a little bit of a hit. I can't remember where 58% falls on the scale of dark versus like not dark milk or whatever. But this definitely has a little bit of a kick to it. So it's not like bitter, like a higher percentage chocolate, but it definitely has that little bit of a hit. So I think if you like more of a dark chocolate, this will appeal to you. If you're a straight milk chocolate person, like if you eat more conventional candy bars, this might have a like, and I'm talking very subtle if you're a chocolate eater, hit of just like that higher grade cocoa bean chocolate or whatever. But it's super creamy. You're not going to taste like breadcrumbs or any sort of texture, and it really just evokes that fresh baked bread feeling. So I highly recommend this. It was harder, I walked in and tried it the first time. It was harder to come across the second time, but I will link the information below of where I got it. So if you're interested, you could get in touch with them. I was actually there yesterday, and they did actually have some. So I think they're keeping it in stock now. I can't promise you they'll have it. This video is not sponsored, by the way, but I did see it yesterday. So if you're in Boston, I'll list the information below for the chocolate shop. Definitely check it out if you're visiting. It's definitely worth checking out. And if you're interested in this particular chocolate, you can either go to Pump Street, and I will put the information for Pump Street chocolate below so that if it is more searchable now than it was when I was looking for it, you can find it. But like I said, I'll give you all the information of where I picked it up. So if you're interested, you can go get some. Thank you for joining me for my video today. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. I haven't made videos for a while, but I am back now, so you are going to be seeing a bunch of chocolate videos, a bunch of other food videos, and a slew of beauty videos, and I'm kind of working on a few things, so hopefully you'll be getting some recipes and other type of things soon. But definitely comment below what you thought about this chocolate. Please subscribe, please thumbs up, and please stay tuned for more videos to come. Take care.